Hi friends, David here from Learn Stage Lighting, and in this video we're going to program church lighting. So we're here, I've got my virtual stage in front of me, you can see it in a minute, it's kind of dark right now. And we're here in Onyx, so I've got an NX1 here, complete NX1 and NXK setup to program with. Now, you don't have to program with Onyx to program stage church lighting. In fact, we do stuff all the time in lots of different software on this channel, as you've seen before. I'm just using Onyx because it's easy for me as a professional. It integrates well with the visualizer, and if you do want to do more complex stuff, it is our #1 choice. But a lot of times for churches, on a smaller scale, you might go with Lightkey, you might go with Emu, you might go with Visual Productions Qt. There are different software packages that we recommend depending on your needs and abilities as a church. So, what are we doing here? Well, we've got our rig set up here. Just to walk you through our groups here, we'll highlight them real quick. We have our moving head spots. We have our front washes. We have our moving head washes behind the band, behind the stage. We have our strip lights upside down. Awesome. We're going to jump off camera in a minute and fix that. We've got our house lights. Lots of house lights. The lensing doesn't quite look right on that because at this height they should be much wider, but we're going to ignore that and program like they're in the right spot. So, how do we begin programming church lighting? The first thing I'm going to do is run up to stage and flip those LED strips around, and then we're going to start building some groups inside of our lighting console. Now, depending on what you're doing, this may look different, it may be different, but it'll be pretty simple here. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is build some groups for my lights. Now, in this instance, I'm going to go ahead and Onyx has already created the software I'm using already creates auto groups for you. I know you can't really see the screen, and that's not really the point here. And basically, those automatic groups are all my fixtures. So I have a front light group. I have one for my moving spots, my spectras, my washes, my sysmas, my wall washes, the color band picks, and my house lights. And really the only thing I need to do is move them over to the regular groups and build just a couple more. So I'm going to go ahead into my individual fixtures and into my front light. And so there's my main wash, these fixtures. So we're going to build a group for that so it's easy to get to in the future. Spell poorly, as we do. Clear that. Go ahead and grab the last 4, which are my preaching stage wash. Looks like I could tilt them down a little bit, but we won't worry about that for right now. And then I'm just going to go ahead and do my spectras. That's my third group. Sysmas. My color band hole fixtures. My color band part fixtures, you'll see why in a minute, but that's an Onyx thing. And then my house. If I did it right, now I have 7 groups. We can see them all here, so we can go through and name them really quick. Awesome. So now I've got some basic groups. We really didn't need to get much more complicated than that. And now we want to talk about building out a church service with lighting, the fun part. So the next thing I like to always do is go ahead and build out my presets or my palettes, depending on what your lighting console may call them. Okay, so there's a couple things I do here actually, especially with the types of fixtures I'm working with today. The first is that for things like these front lights, okay, we've got them and we want to zoom them to about the middle, which Onyx defaults to the middle. So I'm just going to go ahead and bring them up to full, and what I should have done is patch them with a dimmer, which I didn't do. Oops. So we'll just bring up the white to full and then bring in a little bit of color. Make a nice warm white in this case. You could go with whatever white you're looking for. And then I want to go ahead and set my zoom. So we'll set that to an appropriate place here on the console that looks good on the stage. And then I'm going to go ahead real quick, and what I want to do basically is I want to, in the case of Onyx, set the zoom level that's good for my front wash to the default preset so that it's always just defaulting to that position. Your console may have that, it may not. You may just do a regular preset or palette, but in this case, I like to do that because that allows me to always just have it, when I clear everything, it just defaults to that place. Okay, and in the current version of Onyx, that is through the default preset. It changes a little bit in the beta, which is the next version. But I'm going to merge it into the current preset. And now my main wash, 63%. Zoom. Do the same with the preaching. Merge that in. Perfect. Okay, so now that we've done that, the next thing that we want to do is go ahead and build presets for anything we'd want presets for. Anything, basically any building block we want to use in our service, okay? So, for example, for the main wash and the preaching lights, I'm going to go ahead and create a full preset. So take them to full and have that full proper color into a couple presets. So I'm just going to grab our color here. Dial in a nice neutral white, and then go ahead and just bring the percentage down a little bit. In the case of Onyx, I like to actually use the color picker for that. Till it looks right in the space. I'm going to record that into a color preset. Call that warm white wash. Enter. Perfect. Okay, so now I'm going to go through here, and we'll probably fast forward through this so this video isn't like 10 years long, and build out a bunch of different colors. In the case of Onyx, I literally typically go in the programming stage and literally just use the color picker. So it's like on these front lights, I'm just going to zero it out, go red, go green, blue. And the reason why I don't actually care that much, cyan, and I use the color picker and just rough it in, is because the beautiful thing about presets or palettes in any console is that you can update them later. Oh, we weren't doing them at full brightness though. So there, some of them aren't right. We can update them later, and they'll update any cue that we built with that preset or palette. So it doesn't matter if you get it perfect or not on the first shot. That's just the ability there. Amber, do a violet. Cool. And I'm going to go ahead and name those quick. Cool. So we've got some for our front wash there. Then we're just going to go for every other type of fixture and do the same thing. Now I purposefully chose all color mixing fixtures so that it's really easy to do. Again, I typically do this in the color picker instead of getting like really particular about getting all the colors perfect. I just go, hey, build them in the color picker, get them close, and then as I'm programming later, I can always update presets as need be. And so if I don't like them or I want to tweak them just a little bit, okay? So, position presets. We have other videos on this, other things about this, but more often than not, we'll take our fixtures and start to build some basic presets for them. So we'll go ahead first, and I'm actually going to build two groups really quick. So I'll grab my front two and go ahead and build some positions here for them. So this will be kind of the main place these movers probably sit, on the walls there. Just go ahead and record that one in. And then for our other movers, I'm going to go ahead and do like a ceiling. If you have more movers, there's more you can do, but for this example, we're keeping it pretty simple so that this video is not 10 years long. Awesome. 3 positions will work for now. We'll go ahead to our wash fixtures. In order to light our band, I think the back 2 are going to end up there. I'll take the front 2, move them forward a little. Probably end up adjusting the zoom on those. Perfect. That's where we end up. Go back to the band position. This time we'll go ahead real quick and just do a cross position on them. Just a real quick one. Doesn't have to be perfect. Back over here. It's going to be the blinding one. Awesome. And then we've got our Pix M's, which we like because they can tilt. And so what we could basically do with these is we can have, you know, a couple positions here. So we can... Why are they not moving? Something's not right here with the DMX profile, so we'll have to suss that out later as to why everything seems correct, as to why it's not tilting in the visualizer. So we would typically have them at the walls, be able to point them as backlight, maybe as a blinder as well. For now, we'll just ignore that. All right, so now comes the actual starting to program and lay out our cues for playback. And so a lot of how you lay out a lighting console or software for a church service is going to depend on how you run your church service. It really is. And so what we're going to do here is stop where we're at, go ahead into the next video and start to talk about the different ways to lay out a church service on a lighting console, show you guys how to do it from a more traditional to a more modern, and give you some links and some resources that we have elsewhere where you can learn even more about this stuff. So hope you guys enjoyed this look so far at programming church lighting, the kind of positions, the kind of things I do, just kind of a really quick overview. If this got you thinking, be sure to check out Learn Stage Lighting Labs below. We teach this stuff and more every day, and we would love to help you out. And if you need to buy anything, if you have lights, you need an opinion, you need to get that personalized pricing, hey, head over to Learn Stage Lighting Gear. We love to help people. We love to give out advice, look at your space, and help recommend to you the truly best fit for your needs, and get you the right fixture from many brands. So we'll see you over there, Learn Stage Lighting Gear, learnstagelighting.com, and everything in between. See you in the next video. Thanks.